Okay, talking about dilution. Dilution is when you have a solution and you decide that you want it to be less concentrated. So the way that you perform a dilution is you take a certain amount from the original solution and you transfer it to a new flask. Then, to dilute it, you take water and you add it into that flask so that there's more of it, that as you can see here, it's lighter. The concentration of the original solution is less. During dilution, volume changes, concentration changes, but number of moles does not change. So here are the actual steps of dilution. Everywhere that I drew a little line, you have to fill that in with this specific thing or the specific value that applies to this experiment. So use let's say for this experiment we used a 10 milliliter volumetric. I'm gonna make another video on the different glassware. So use a 10 milliliter volumetric pipette and pipette filler to transfer, say, 3 milliliters of solution S to a 100 milliliter volumetric flask. Again, all the numbers that I've written in pencil are based off of the experiment that you're trying to perform. So, as you can see up here, what we do, let's call this volumetric pipette, let's call it a 10 milliliter volumetric pipette. You use it to transfer 3 milliliters to a 100 milliliter volumetric flask. So this volumetric flask, in this case, is 100 milliliters, and we have 3 milliliters of solution S in it. Then we use a funnel to add a little bit of water to the flask. Then we shake it well to homogenize the solution. So we can't, we can't shake something when it's full all the way up to the top. So we add a bit of water, we shake it to make sure it's mixed, and then we fill the volumetric flask to the line mark. Now, an important thing to note, as I said, during dilution, the number of moles remains constant, which means N1, which is the number of moles here, is equal to N2, which is the number of moles here. Let's call this N1, N2 with C1, V1, and C2, V2. So since N1 equals N2, that means C1 equals V1, C1 times V1 equals C2 times V2, which is a formula that you can use. And then dilution factor, a number of folds, is basically how many times it's been diluted. That is calculated by C1 over C2, which is equal to V2 over V1.